Hello and welcome to another edition of UFO Video Addicts. Let me give you a preview of what I got coming up in this video. The first is a Good Morning Britain webcam video of some UFOs bouncing off the water. Also have this real quick video of a UFO in Canada. And let's see, this is from Instagram of just a strange UFO in the sky. I'm not too sure where this is at though. And some medallions that were recently released by the United States Air Force. I think it's very interesting here. You know, you see it's got this bomber here, and I think these are supposed to be like UFOs. But anyways, in this one here, you can definitely see that this is a what looks to be a figure of an alien, and then some type of maze system, it seems, you know, underground. But anyways, check that out. Also have this video here about these whales. I think this is 3 different whales that they found like miles away from any ocean in the field. They don't know how they got there. And let's see, this is a image from the Curiosity rover on Mars, but check that out, what it found. We'll look at that. Also this article here, McChord Air Force Base UFO incident. Agent details alien encounter. And we got a video here that asks, was there a civilization that predates all known ancient civilization? And, you know, obviously there was, because the evidence is there. I know, you know, a lot of academics or quackademics want to say, oh, this is all just myth. No, I think it's more than just myth. I think this is definitely telling the story about what happened to the surviving humans after the cataclysms impacted the Earth. Check that out. Let's see. And then last is this article here about this woman, Sally Shepard, the woman who faced Bigfoot multiple times and even talked to them. Apparently this woman befriended a group of Bigfoots. And, you know, man, this is a similar story that other people have told. So, you know, like I've always said, there's so much wilderness space out there. It's pretty obvious. There's more space for them to live than, you know, the areas that we occupy. And all these people that keep saying it's all just myth, it's kind of ridiculous at this point. Anyways, let's check out this video here. Let me go full screen. And, you know, this is a Reddit clip, so I can definitely play the whole thing in case it disappears, but it's only 46 seconds long, so check this out. Yeah, you know, I don't think it's ricocheting off the water. I think it's just turning there. I think this is something that's being intelligently controlled, and you know, they're just like messing around, having a good time out there in their little anti-gravity crafts. But anyways, a link to this will be in the description. Let's go to this video here. Yeah, now this one here, this is real quick. It's only 1 minute and 21 seconds long. And this is really the only part that you see the video, but I just wanted to play it to just...
It's a... oh. It's a fucking UFO. Where'd it go? Disappeared.
You know, and then, you know, the guy has trouble finding it, but I just wanted to post this to sort of like make a point about, you know, there are still people who ask, how come, you know, every photo or every video of a UFO is out of focus or blurry? And my thing is, you know, in order to get a good high quality image, you need a proper camera, and you also have to be ready. A lot of times when these UFOs show up, they only appear for a few seconds, so it really doesn't give people enough time to pull out a camera and then, snap a good photo. And in order to catch a nice, crisp image, or a detailed image, you have to take it at a fast enough shutter speed. So, who has the presence of mind to, change the shutter speed to, 2/50th of a second or higher, and then, hold the camera steady. And then again, you have to be ready. Many times these UFOs, they show up for a few seconds and then they're gone. And even if they do stick around, you have to have the proper equipment and know what settings, just put it on the proper settings so that you do catch it. And that's kind of rare. But it doesn't mean that there aren't, great videos or great photos. Again, to the people that always ask, why aren't there? It's just, well, maybe you haven't seen them all. Anyways, let's go to this one here. And this is from Instagram. I don't know if I can make this. Yeah, I can't make this thing bigger, unfortunately. And that's that. Not the most exciting video, but link will be in the description. Now, this one is kind of interesting. It's about these medallions that the United States Air Force just recently released. But let me just play a little bit of this. Check this out.
The official challenge coin of the U.S. Air Force 72D Test and Evaluation Squadron Detachment 2, and the coin seems to imply that the unit revels in the fact its testing ground is steeped in UFO, alien, and otherwise spooky lore. The bizarre challenge coin, which can be seen here, is a collage of odd symbols, cryptic imagery, and mysterious slogans, all of which point to the fact that this unit is up to some seriously shadowy work in the Nevada desert. What exactly was this unit trying to depict with the coin?
Yeah, that again, I can't play, all this video, but of course the link will be in the description. But I think this is kind of interesting. It looks like it's underground. It looks like this little alien is lost in this maze of tunnels. But link will be in the description to this. Check it out. Let's go to this next video here. Oh yeah, now this video is about, I think there's 3 different whales that have been found miles from any ocean.
In the middle of one of his fields, hundreds of kilometers away from its natural habitat. Again, an animal around the same dimensions as the other 2 whales. There seems to be a pattern forming here. Police were called as the man thought this may be a creepy prank by some neighborhood kids. This idea was quickly put to bed as there were no traces of vehicles or movement of the beast, the police admitting that they were at a loss as to how the carcass got there. "We have to admit that we find this case very puzzling," said Captain Terry Dawson from the farming.
Anyways, that's a video about 3 different whales that were found, miles from any ocean. Let's see, let's go to this one here. Yeah, now this one is just, they're going to just show you this photo over and over. But this is definitely kind of strange. I mean, could this be something that the Mars rover scooped up out of the sand, or is this something that's been sitting there for a while? It definitely doesn't look like it's from this environment. Well, link will be in the description. Check it out. Let's see. This article here is about this UFO incident at McChord Air Force Base. Let's see what it says down here. It says around 1 p.m. on the day in question, the 2 officers arrived at the complex, passed through the security fence surrounding the facility, and entered the building. Once inside, the officers started their assignments. They carried out the TACAN pre-assigned system checks and conducted the equipment security checks. At approximately 2 p.m., whilst the officers continued their checks, Briggs described hearing a strange sound coming from outside the building. He said it was similar to that of a high-pitched engine. Somewhat perplexed by what could be making the sound, he ventured outside to investigate. He quickly realized that the sound he could hear was not coming from any conventional aircraft, but it was a UFO. Briggs stood in disbelief as he witnessed a saucer-shaped object in the sky hovering above the Taycan facility. He continued watching for several moments as the object continued to hover before it started to descend just south of the compound and then landed. Concerned that there was an immediate security threat, Briggs ran back inside the Taycan building and alerted his partner, Hilsgek, about what he had seen. Both men rushed outside in a bid to protect the facility, but were stunned with what they saw. They claimed to see two humanoid creatures walking towards the fence surrounding the building. Whilst both of the airmen were understandably frightened and confused at this point, Briggs ran back inside the building and called the base security police. He requested help to the Taycan buildings as they had intruders that were about to breach the facility. The call from Briggs was answered by Sergeant David Holmes, the law enforcement desk sergeant, 62nd Security Police Squadron. Holmes dispatched AIC Michael Tash and Sergeant Dwight Reed to the facility to support both Briggs and Hilsgek. 17 minutes after the initial call, the security police arrived at the scene. When they arrived, they didn't see any craft. However, they found both of the airmen in a state of shock standing by their vehicles. It was reported that neither of the airmen could speak. Sergeant Reed was concerned by what appeared to be a burn mark on Hilsgek's face and immediately called for an Air Force ambulance to attend. You know, this is very similar to the Russians, the encounter that happened in Russia, where the Russians, encountered these 23-foot aliens. So, yeah, I don't think that, whoever these beings are, that they're coming from other dimensions or from faraway planets or from the future, like a lot of people want to believe. I think they're concerned with our military bases and our nuclear facilities. It's because they're concerned with us, destroying this planet that we share with them. But anyways, a link to this will be in the description. Okay, now this next video here is about, or it's asking the question, was there a civilization that predates all other known civilizations? And, I think the answer is yes, because there's so much evidence. Here they talk about the Pakal type symbolism that a few ancient cultures shared. I think here, this looks like something that's in a craft carrying these bags. Here, this is that the Pakal type. And, obviously, oh yeah, here's the Pakal craft. Also, in pre-Inca and the Egyptians, we had these people with the elongated skulls. And, here's, I think, Nefertiti, and this was Amenhotep's, both of his daughters were depicted with these elongated heads. And again, I've said this before, I don't think the sculptor was, taking artistic license, and I don't think she, asked him to sculpt this and, make her look like a freak. I think her head is sculpted like this is because this is what she looked like. And, the fact that we have so many skulls of people with elongated heads. Let's see, what else do they talk about in this video? Yeah, here they talk about the Orion's belt symbolism. I've heard that that any passing spaceship, if they were to scan our planet, they would detect these and then know that there was intelligent life on the planet, or at least space travelers also on this planet. Let's see, what else did they get into? Oh yeah, all of the pyramids, all over the planet that are similar. So yeah, there's definitely was a shared culture. Oh yeah, and here with these guys, they question, or what's in these bags, or what is this bag about? And this guy says the same thing that I think. It's that these bags carried seeds, and I think what this symbolizes is as above, so below. And because this is a pine cone, and I think this, this a bird creature, this is a sky person. I think after the cataclysm, our underwater neighbors probably, you know, came up out of the oceans, but to, you know, to the people that, to the survivors, they didn't know they were from the ocean. They just saw them come down from crafts in the sky. So they depicted them as birds with wings to signify that, you know, that they're sky people. And I think this, yeah, signifies, you know, that in this bag, he's showing you it's their seeds. So if you plant the, you know, these seeds in the ground, which is why he has this hand going down, this hand up, is because, you know, once you plant these seeds, this is, you get more seeds that you get from the trees or from the plants. Let's see, what else do they talk about? Yeah, this is the whole thing. And there were multiple cultures that depicted these people with the bags. And I think that, you know, the reason why they have the wings and the bird faces is because they considered them sky people, because they came down from the sky in their crafts to teach them, you know, how to farm. They brought agriculture to the survivors of the cataclysms. But as far as like the elongated heads people, you know, their descendants are still around. You know, here, the Rothschilds, I mean, look at that guy's heads. This is Jacob Rothschild and his brother. But look at those, you know, look at those skulls. And even in the past, I think, I mean, I'm not positive, you know, and I'm not too sure if this is a hairstyle or maybe a hairstyle to hide the fact that, you know, that they had these elongated skulls. And again, you know, the people that got these paintings done, they were the elite, the royalty, and, you know, in society. I don't think any of the peasants or the serfs had heads like this, or, you know, got paintings of themselves. There's that. Yeah, there's this woman here on Brian Forster's website. Like, look at that. I think that's a woman too. There's this guy here from Brian Forster's I think this is Instagram. Here it says, they're still here. This man, I understand, is Basque. Remember, Basque are the people with the most Rh negative blood. And, you know, their culture, the language, there's nothing on planet Earth that relates to that. But it says he's a very left brain, highly mathematical and involved in banking. He's talking with a woman in front of a computer and she can't keep her eyes off his huge head. You know, Karen Hudes said that, you know, these people, the Homo capensis, they all run the banking industry, and that, yeah, that they're very emotionalist. They're all just about numbers and profit, which is, you know, I mean, I guess the reason why our situation we're in right today. Yeah, look at this guy here. You know, I'm sure if you saw his skull, it would look very similar to a lot of the elongated skulls that they found throughout Peru. But these guys are still around. You know, maybe they just don't make themselves notice. But yeah, I bet you they run with very elite circles. But anyways, yeah, you know, the link to this story will be, or this video will be in the description. And then last, I have this story here about Sally Shepherd Wolford, the woman who faced Bigfoot multiple times and even talked to them. Let's see where she says she, when we walked out to view the river, I knew we would live there. When we returned to walk back, my ex yelled Raisha and disappeared into the woods. I couldn't recall where we'd come out, so I took the most obvious path. I picked wild flowers as I walked, expecting him to do something to scare me, like jumping out from behind a bush and screaming. That was when I noticed the woods had become dark and completely quiet. When I looked up, the sky was filled with ominous rolling clouds. I shivered and realized I was not alone, and the presence I felt was not that of my husband. I screamed his name and turned to run. Then a terrible smell wafted by on the sodden breeze. The woods erupted behind me, and I turned towards the sound of ripping foliage. As I watched, something huge and hairy disappeared into the trees. Charged by waves of fear, I began running again, but tripped over a root and landed on the wet sand. I lay still, catching my breath. When I looked up, I noticed the sky had returned to normal. Well, it seems like she was experiencing some type of a hallucination. So, you know, many times with the Bigfoot sightings, there are some that seem to be associated with UFOs, And, you know, again, this UFO and these are our neighbors. It is not one single entity. There's definitely several or multiple different phenomenon. I think these visitors, or whoever you want to call them, they all have different abilities, because some of them, you know, can control our minds, can make us, like, knock us out and, you know, turn us into zombies, whereas others can't do that. So, you know, the ones that can't control our minds probably fear us, probably, you know, again, treat us like we're wild animals. And, you know, maybe the ones that can control our minds, is, you know, it has to be in a right conditions, you know, similar to us. Like, you know, we can definitely go into shark-infested waters as long as we're prepared. You know, we have the cages and the weapons and things to protect ourselves. But if, you know, you're in the water, you get caught, you know, you're on the menu. So I'm sure with some of our advanced neighbors, it must be the same way, that some of them have the ability to control us, and others, you know, they can't. And if we catch them in the right situation, you know, we can harm them. They're definitely mortal or vulnerable. But anyways, that is going to be it for this video. If you like things like this, please give this video a thumbs up. Please share this video. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I'll have more things like this. Take care.